Hello everyone, Glenda Mollet here, and I'm in my craft room stamping with you today. Another one of my Sand and Sea series cards for our May 2021 in our monthly stamping club. And just want to make sure that I've got this set up properly. Here we go. Okay. All right. So this is the card we're going to make today, and the recipe for that is a thick basic white card base, 8.5 by 5.5. Then some vellum that is 5.5 by 4.25. Let's put that over there. Get my kit out. Oops. Vellum 5.5 by 4.25. A piece of True Love foil, the Sahara sand color, that's 4 5/8 by 3.25, and we're going to cut our seaweed out of that before we use it on our card. Then I have a piece of thick basic white. I'm going to make a frame today, and I like making frames out of thick basic white because they have more stability to them. A piece of basic white that's 4.25 by 4.25, and that's going to stamp all of our bits. A piece of designer paper 5.25 by 4 for the inside, and then a piece of basic white that is 4 by 2 3/4, and I'll show you that in a minute. Another piece of the Sand and Sea designer paper 2 5/8 by 4. A piece of white that I believe was 1 by 3.5, and I've just die cut from the potted succulents dies. A strip here to put the sentiment on, and a piece of rainbow glimmer paper that is 2 by 3.5. Okay, so this is the outside. Oh, and some pastel pearls as well. So there's the outside, and this frame is up on dimensionals, and I've stamped, die cut, and embossed these pieces, and I'll show you how to do that. And then this is the inside. Okay, so let's get started on getting our pieces ready. So I'm using the smooth sailing dies because I really like this seaweed. So I'm going to cut one of those, and I need to cut one out of the center of the foil as well. We'll cut one of those. I'm going to cut it up as far as I can into the green section. Okay, and then the thick basic white that has an F on it. If you got one of the kits I prepared, it has an F on it for frame. And we're going to use the stitched rectangle dies number 4 and number 6. So count from the center, 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip one and then get the next one. So that one goes down there like that. And then this one gets centered in the middle of it. And that'll give us a nice frame to frame the designer paper. Now I'm just going to turn that, because you never, when you've got something that has a right angle like that, you don't stick it through your machine where it hits that angle first, because it needs to jump up and over it, and it's just less stressful and less noisy if you put it in there at an angle. Okay, run that through the machine. All right. Oh, I think my frame moved. Oh well, it is what it is. Put those back. Get them out of the way. Those over there. Get this one. Pop that out. I love this rainbow glimmer paper, and the new ombre specialty paper. I don't know why they didn't call it glimmer paper, because it's exactly the same thing, except it's ombre, and it's stunning. But of course, when I created these cards, I didn't have that paper. So I had to, this piece, make it your own we don't need that for anything. And here's the frame. Oh, it didn't move after all. Okay, there's that. So now I need to cut one of these out of the center of this. So I'll do that now, and then we'll do some stamping. There we go. Pop that out. Did that over my garbage can so I didn't have to worry about getting rid of all those pieces. So we're done with that, so I will put this one away. Those out of there. Okay, so we have that and that and that. We don't need to do anything to that piece, and this piece is already cut. This one we're going to stamp. So now I'm going to emboss this 5.5 by 4.25 inch piece of vellum with the Seashells embossing folder. And you're probably going to think, well, the embossing folder goes up and down, and you're using that on a wrong orientation. But you know what? Once you get all the pieces on the front, you can't even tell. So I'm just kind of making it so that I have the whole thing in there. And I'll put that through my machine. I love vellum when it's been embossed. It's so pretty. Okay, that's the easy stuff. We got the more difficult stuff. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? All right, get all of those pieces out of the way. Now, you could use this center here and do your stamping on that, but it's thick and it's a little bit tougher to use. So I'm going to use this. So, Seaside spray and this one. And I'm going to show you how to stamp, cut, and emboss these pieces separately. There's that one. And Rococo Rose. Now, Rococo Rose I have stamped off because it's a really intense color and I didn't want it to be so intense. So I used, we need one of these and then just stamp it off and stamp it so it's nice and light. And one of these. Ink it up, stamp it off, and stamp it. Okay, now we need crumb cake. And we need the, get rid of this. I don't need it anymore. Okay, oops, sorry. I'm going to stamp one of these. And the starfish. Now, I think that's it. So now you have to do a little bit of hand trimming around these. Excuse me. Now you do this because we're using the the big die to cut these out, and they're quite close together. And if you don't do this, you'll have overlapping bits, and you don't want overlapping bits. Now the other two are fine because they have their own small dies. So I'll just take that off like that. Get rid of this. Okay, now take the die and line this up like that. Get my post-it notes here. This one's big, so I'm going to use 2 pieces on that. And then this one fits in here. And you see what I mean about them being quite close together? And just put the post-it note on there. And then this one scooches underneath here. Like this. Okay, I'll run that through the machine. Like that. Get the excess paper off of there. Now when I pop these out, then you just need to do a little bit of trimming on them. I tried various ways of doing this, and this is the easiest way I found. And then you just got to get rid of those extra pieces that are hanging around on your die. Okay, we'll put that to the side. Now, these, you just kind of take off all the excess stuff here. Follow the outline of the stamp. Now you could have just gone ahead and cut these out by hand instead of doing it that way and then by hand, but it works. Okay, there's one. And they aren't hard to do. And at least that thing does half of it for you. Okay, and then the little one. Okay, get rid of all these little pieces. Get my magnetic platform. So now we have to do these ones. I need the dies for them. And just take a second to turn your starfish die to make sure you get it in the right spot. This one's easy because you just line that little notch up with that big notch there. Okay, now I'll run that through. And then the next step is to emboss those pieces that we cut out with the dies. You got to be careful with these Post-it notes because they'll rip the top layer of your paper right off. You don't want that. Uh-oh. Use this one a couple of times too many. There we go. Now, get the embossing folder and take your seashell and line it up in the embossing folder like this. And then take Post-it notes and hold it there. And do that with the same thing with the big one. Laying it on there. And then we have this one goes down here. Oops. There we are. And I've just put Post-it notes on that, so I'll just run that through and emboss it. Lots of switching your machine back and forth on this card. There. Now I think we have all of our pieces. And by adding that embossing on there, it changes the look of these shells. It's so awesome. Okay. Now comes the tough part, because these Post-it notes have been embossed onto the cardstock. So you have to be really gentle, or you tear away the bottom layer of your cardstock. Okay, there we are. Put those out of the way. Okay. Now I'm going to put some color on that with a little bit of Sahara sand. I got a sneeze coming out. Just gonna try and find my oh, excuse me. Okay, just gonna I'll just use this. I don't want to get a big blob right in the center. Just a little bit of color on this one. There we are. That's it. That's all I want. Now, I'm going to put Wink Estella on these ones before I put them together, because I don't want to, I just want to dab, dab, dab them so I don't reactivate that ink. Do both the pink ones at the same time, because I don't want to have, if you want to have pinky tinged seashells, go ahead. This one I want to be a little bit different. This one I'm not worried about. And of course this one has already been colored, so let's do a quick. Now, blue. There we go. Okay, let's do some assembly. That's the envelope. That's not what I want. I want card base. And put some adhesive right in the very center of this, because that's all going to get covered up anyways. And right right onto the card base. Now it opens up this way, so I want the big one at the bottom. Like that. Okay, now put the foil on. And it gets centered. I have to hold it up to make sure I'm getting it centered here and straight. That'll do. Okay. Now the frame, I'm going to use some foam strips because it's faster than putting a whole bunch of dimensionals on there. So you can either use dimensionals or foam strips. Either way works. I love my foam strips. I don't know what we did. Well, we didn't make shaker cards before foam strips. I remember saving the outside edges of all the dimensionals so that I could have a shaker class. And by the time I got enough saved up, we had foam strips. So then I had all those pieces to use. Okay, so this is going to go on top of this, and I'm just going to start do my rabbit ear thing. Like that. Now you can use either side of this. I like this side. I think it's really pretty. I just love this designer paper. And then put it over top of that. Push the corners down. Oh, it's a little on the crooked side. Okay. Let's see if I can straighten it out a bit. There we go. I lost this one. There we go. Put those away. Now, it is tough. What's going on in his corner? I don't think it's folded over. It is tough when you're using a roller to get the adhesive on here, so just be very careful, or use Stamp and Seal or something, but you want it to be right on top of the foam strips, so when you push it onto the card it actually goes where it's supposed to. There we are. Well, this one, let's see, which way do I want it up? I think this way, because if I put it this way, this will get covered up. Okay. Put that on there, like that. And glue dots. First one to go down is the foil. I'm just going to put one glue dot on there. Like that. I'll get the other one in there. Okay. Now I got to take glue dots, fold them over to make them smaller, and pop them underneath here so that that sticks there and doesn't go anywhere. Do the same thing to this one. I'm just putting it on the back side of here and then push it down onto the frame. Now I'm going to leave the other ones till I get the rest of the stuff on, and we'll see. Okay, so this one is going to go here like that, and the pink one is going to go there, and then this pink one gets underneath here like that. That goes on the side, and then this one goes over top like that. Okay, so the secret to this is just put one dimensional there and some adhesive or glue dots or something on that. And we'll put that one on kind of, sort of this way. Oh, okay, I forgot. Got to be doubled. There. Or maybe tripled. Okay, that's there. Now the pink one. Where'd the pink one go? Hello, pink one. Okay, so this one is going to go here, like that. So a glue dot on this edge, and a glue dot down there, and just pop those right there. And then this pink one, put a glue dot on that and just slide it underneath like that. And then when you get it on, then you can take another glue dot and you can just do this. And then you get them all secured, but you don't have adhesive somewhere that is showing or you can't use it. There we go. So now it's a little loose there. So I'm going to double layer another set of dimensionals. Take the liner off that. And we'll just pop those underneath there, like that. Oh, this is so cute. Right, now this one, it's here in the corner. And I think right about there. So let's put some adhesive on here. That, and I'm not going to put any adhesive here, and then this just goes over top, so this is more difficult to put adhesive on, so I'm just going to use a couple of glue dots. I'll just slide another one underneath here. There we go. This card looks so difficult because it's got a lot of pieces, but it's really not. Okay, so now I'm going to stamp the Happy Birthday from Art Gallery. So that's this stamp set. I'm using the Happy Birthday out of there onto the piece I've already die cut. That away. Now this is going to be popped Now, because this is up on foam strips, I'm going to get a little piece of foam strip and pop the end of that up, because these are thicker than the dimensionals are. So put that on that side. So when I put it on here, it's flat. And then I'll put it on and then I'll slide a dimensional underneath it. That's straight. Yep. Not a dimensional. Glued up. That I put away. Because that's what I do. I put things away before I'm done. There we go. Now, find my pastel pearls. We'll just put those in here. I love these pearls. They're so pretty. Rid of the plastic. And there's the front of our card. That didn't take too long, did it? Okay, now I haven't attached these because I don't, I want them to be a little free-flowing so that they have kind of, don't look so stilted. Okay, so now we're going to put adhesive on the inside piece. And center it on the designer paper. Wait, see if it's straight first. Sure, that'll do. And then we'll put this on the inside. Now you don't have to use the side with the shells on it. If you don't want to, you can use the other side. And we'll just put that in here once I get it unstuck from my fingers. There we go. And the final thing is stamping the envelope, and I'm going to stamp it off as well. There we are. I'll just put a few shells on here. There we go. There we are. We're done. We're done the card. This one is a Glenda Mollet original, this card. So thank you very much for spending time with me in my craft room today. I hope you enjoyed the card, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stamp and smiles, and bye for now.